So, first and foremost, I want to say, call halal, Abanaw Yahweh Shem Wamalak Yahweh Shai. Right? That's all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God and His only begotten Son, named who the world calls Christ, real name Yahweh Shai in the Paleo Hebrew. Right? I want to say shalom to all the brothers and sisters, the Akim, Akwakim, right? That's out there, man, pushing His word in sincerity and in truth, man, trying to become right one of the elect through their work, through their faith, right, and through their purpose that was given to them by being Israelites, which is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and the faith in the Mashiach Yahushua, right? So I just wanted to come with this right quick, man, before we go live with another lesson, right? Yeah, man, I've been going through it. I've been going through the affliction, man. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been going under the ringer, man. I've been talking to early worldly people about a couple problems and stuff, that I've done endured in the last, I don't know how many weeks, you know, but that even they were saying, man, we going through it, right? So just like the Lord said, man, it rains on the just as well as the unjust. I'm seeing it on a day to day in my life, right? But yeah, man. So you know, um, I had to deal with a lot, man. Get my car out the tour yard just a couple of days ago. I had to cough up like $750. Right then, this morning, my supervisor called me. He said, "Man, my work truck been broken in. Man, all my tools are gone." Right, but the Lord also said, right, the thoughts of foolishness, right, are as sin, right? And when it tells you that, it's telling you that the thoughts of sin, right, is the same thing as committing one. So I was thinking because I went through so much that I needed to get a little bit of money, right? That I was gonna have to work on the Shabbat and try to use a little bit of grace and mercy, right? But sure enough, man, when I already repented, my supervisor hit me up because I was writing down my letter, right, to tell them, hey, look, I'm gonna need Wednesdays off, right, due to the lunar moon Shabbat or new moon Shabbat. Right, I wrote my letter, boom, I hit the gym, and sure enough, he hit me like, boom, hey, look, your truck got broken into, all your tools is gone. So that's just a sign that the Lord telling me, hey, look, man, you was thinking about work, and I was gonna take away your ability to work because you didn't want to keep my commandments. Right? So we gotta bear these chastisements of the Lord, and don't try to look for a way out. Man. Don't break the commandments, right? To try to keep your livelihood up, right? This is the reason why Yahweh Shai said, if you gonna follow me, hey, you gotta keep the commandments of the Lord, man. You wanna follow me, but the Son of Man have nowhere to lay his head, right? So you got other things to focus on. That one man said, hey, look, I'll follow you, but let me go bid my family goodbye. Another man said, hey, look, my uncle just died, my dad just died, whoever. Let me go bury them, right? All these type of excuses, man, on why you not gonna obey the commandments, man, right? There's no excuse, man. There's no excuse. And us as being flesh, we always try to find a way to make an excuse for breaking the Lord's commandments, man. Right? Shalom to the viewer in the chat. Right? Somehow we want to make God what we want him to be and not who he is, right? And he told me, hey, look, you keep the commandments, right? And I'm gonna bless you. If you break my commandments, I will curse you, man. So now we got to learn how to live under these curses, man, because we keep breaking the Lord's commandments because of our own selfish and vain thoughts, right? So I want to go into this a little bit, right? This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and verse number 5. And ye, I'm going to start at 4. Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin, right? So that's what you doing, man. That's what I was doing, man. I was like, hey, look, man, put it on my calendar. I'm going to break 3 Shabbats, right? And then I'll keep the rest of them because I'll be all caught up. No, man, that's not how the Lord works, man. Right? So he tells us right here through our beloved brother Paul, right? He said, ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not the chastising of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Right? So don't get faint hearted, man, and start breaking the commandments, right? Because the Lord done chastised you and whoop your tail for breaking his commandments before. Now you think that's a go ahead for you to break the commandments now, but it's only gonna make him judge you again. Right, but the Lord so gracious and so merciful that He had my tools to get stolen just to remind me, bro, you ain't even supposed to be working on that day anyway, because I said so. Right, you already been following my commandment. Now, because I chastise you a little bit, you want to break them to try to get your cushion. Nah, man, it says, wealth, wealth unjustly gotten, right, shall be laid up for the just, man. Right? So if I go get wealth unjustly, meaning breaking the laws of God, everything that I gain will be laid up for the righteous. Right? And that means I'm gonna be that wicked person. All these works go unnoticed, man, if I break the Sabbath every week. Right? All these works go unnoticed, right, if I hate my brother every day in my heart. Right? All these words go unnoticed if I start back to smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, because the Lord chastised me. And instead of running to Him, I ran to the drink, I ran to the weed, I ran to the cigarette, right? So we got to learn how to endure and love the chastisement of the Lord, man, right? Some things we got to learn how to take with a smile on our face, man. They told me about my tools. I already had repented for the thoughts that I was having, right? So when He told me, all I could do is laugh, right? Because the Lord, He's so merciful, man. He didn't kill me, right? And He made sure I had a way out, right? Says many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord deliver them out of them all, right? So let's keep reading on this a little bit. For whom the Lord loveth, He chastises, and scourges every son whom He receiveth. So if you're not getting ass whooping, right, then you're doing something wrong, man, right? Every man in this truth, man, woman, and child, should be getting the ass whooping some type of way. If you ain't had something happen in 3 weeks, you should be nervous, right? You should be worried, man. Maybe you falling out of the truth, man. Maybe you really don't believe no more. Because the people who truly love the Lord, He puts them through more, right? So He could build them up, right? So in these last days, you could glory in that affliction that you're gonna have when they chopping off your members, right? When they holding your groins, in their hand, man, and trying to damn, get you to eat some pork, man, right? So the Lord's putting us through all this fire. The more that we love Him, the more fire He puts us through, man, right? It's like that. I think that was it's a song. It says more fire burning in the streets, right? It was some Jamaican song, right? More fire, man. And that's what the Lord does to us when we love Him sincerely and we truly follow Him. He put us under more and more and more pressure, right? So always remember, man, when you come in to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for trials, tribulation, chastisement, scourging, right? When you get scourged, that's a whip that rip the skin every time it hits you, man, right? So these things that we get beat with spiritually is that same pain as an open wound, right? With a whip, you know? And that's mercy that the Lord don't send somebody to come over and shoot us, man. Come over and stab us, man, right? Come over and jump us, man, right? That He give us the mercy to just mess with and dwindle without things through the spiritual demon Satan, man. Take your house away from you, take your car away from you, take your clothes away from you, take your children away from you, take this away from you, right? That's a light judgment, man. That's a light affliction, right? So let's keep going. If ye endure chastising, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chastises not? Right? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all men are partakers, right? Everybody get chastised by the Lord. Even the wicked get chastised by the Lord, right? But how you receive it and how you take it, that deems you a son and a bastard, right? If you just say, "Oh, it is because I'm black," "Oh, this is just because I'm a Mexican." This is how society, this is how society chunked it up for it to be. No, right? It's not. This is the chastisement of the Lord to correct you and make you a better son, right? Make you a better daughter, make you a better grandson and granddaughter, man, right? Talking about the younger children, right? So it says what? Whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. If you're not happy that the Lord is chastising you and loving that the Lord is chastising you, but you hating it and you feeling bad about it, you acting just like a bastard, bro. It's because I'm black. It's because the way the government is set up, right? It's because of this. It's because of that. No, it's because the Lord is whooping you to try to get you to understand where you're going wrong at, so you could be a better child to Him, right? More obedient, right? Verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence, right? We respected our dad for yelling at us, picking up his voice, punching us in the chest, whooping us on our side. You know, some of us, getting whooped with extension cords. We reverence and we respect our dad. After he done these certain things to us, right? What happened? So it says, shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Right? Because if you don't be subject unto the Father of spirits, Yahweh, right, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, if you're not subject to them, guess what? They're gonna kill you. If you don't want to be subject to the Most High God, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, they will kill you, right? Maybe they'll kill your spirit first and make you the walking dead, man, right? Or maybe they just outright take you out and grab your spirit and bring it back to the heavens, man, right? So we have to love the Lord with reverence even more than we have the reverence of our Father, man. That scared us in the flesh, right? We should fear so much more in the spiritual aspect, man. 'Cause he said, what is man that he can't destroy your flesh and your spirit, man. So why are you worried about what man could do and not what the Most High Yahweh Bashar could do, right? Ask yourself these questions, man. Verse 10. This is Hebrews 12 and 10. For they verily for a few days chastise us after their own pleasure, right? Meaning, like, if I tell you to take out the trash, you don't take it out. I'll whoop your ass today. You don't take out the trash tomorrow, I'll whoop you again. I'll whoop you again. Right. And after that, I'm gonna be like, hey, look, man, I'm tired of whooping you. You take out the trash, right? And then you do it, right? But maybe that's just for a couple of days, right? For they verily for a few days chastise us after their own pleasure, whatever they need us to do or want us to do. But he for our profit. But the Lord, he chastised us for our profit. This is why we have to love the chastisement of the Lord, right? And not look down on it, right? And it's one of the hardest things to do for non-spiritual people, right? Almost spiritual people, according to Romans 7 and 14, right? And then for fully spiritual people, it's very hard for us to love the chastisement of the Lord, because the more we grow, the more we get stronger, the more we get chastised, right? And it's always through outside sources to affect us spiritually, right? Spiritually, we're supposed to keep the law, but outside sources entice us to break it, right? So we need to make sure that we keep our spirit together and stay obedient. That way, when these other things tempt us, we say, I serve the Lord, not man, right? But he for our profit. So the Lord, he whoop our ass for our profit. that we might be partakers of his holiness. So we could look and become like his image, man, which is obedience, right? Which is loving to write in a book, loving to read a book, right? That's his holiness. Like we should look forward to being more like Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Last verse in this one. It says, wherefore, this is Hebrews 12 and 12. Oh, Hebrews 12 and 11. Now, no chastising for the present seemeth to be joyous. No ass whooping in the moment of time seems to be joyous. Like it's hard to be happy in certain tribulations, right? Some of them you could brush it off. Other ones, not so much, right? Now, no chastisement for the present seem to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward, it says, nevertheless, afterward, right after the chastisement, after you get through it, it helps you be more obedient to the word of the Most High God, right? Which comes from Yahweh Shai, right? So it says, afterward, nevertheless, afterward, it yield the peaceable fruit of righteousness, right? Why is that fruit peaceable? Peaceable because we know what comes with us being obedient. What is that righteousness? Being obedient to the laws of God, right? So Paul was like really on to something, man. We need to learn how to take these judgments as well, so that way we could be joint heirs with the Lord in the kingdom, right? Unto them which are exercised thereby. So it says, afterward, it yield peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them that are exercised thereby. Meaning you always getting an ass whooping, right? The more you get an ass whooping later on, the less you gotta have one. The more obedient you become, right? Within these last few weeks, man, I've been in jail within the last like 4 months. Right? I've been in jail twice, car towed 3 times, 2 times, right? Just got my tools stolen, wasn't able to really pay bills or kicked out of the house, right? Kicked out of my apartment, right? All types of chastisement, man, right? But it's all because at the end of the day, we're getting exercise to be the best we could be for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? Our exercise thereby, wherefore lift up the hands which hang down and the feeble knees, right? So all this chastisement that we go through is to lift us up at the end. Because when we go through that actual persecution that we was going through in the Roman and the Greek persecution, right? When we go back through that, man, you want to be able to take it and withstand. You want to be like Judas Maccabeus, man, like Mattathias Maccabeus, right? You want to be like these different Maccabees, man, that fought till the death. You want to be like the seven sons and the mother, man, right? That got dismembered and all her children got dismembered in front of her, all the way into the 4-year-old little boy. And she told him in the Hebrew tongue, die manfully like your brother and don't disrespect, right, the Most High God, because you're going to come back in another life, right? We need to have that type of faith, man. We need to have that type of obedience to the word of God when that time comes. So all these ass whoopings is to get us prepared for when that comes, right? A lot of us say we're ready for the kingdom to come, but Yahweh said we're not. We got a lot more chastising to go through, right? And what are you willing to take? What are you willing to give up, right, to bear all these judgments and these chastisement of the Lord? So at the end you can overcome. How much, right? Are you still working on a Shabbat day? Right? Are you still thinking about working on a Shabbat day? I'm telling you right now, do not work on a Shabbat day. Do not think on it because the Lord will judge you, right? All right, let's get to the next one. I might only be able to get through like three more of these precepts that I got, because we got another class going, and I feel like I'm stressing it. I'm stressing the point a lot right now, but it's very much a point that needs to be stressed, right? It's very much a point that needs to be stressed. All right, let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, and let's go to verse number 24. And it reads, he that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chastise him betimes. Right? So it says if you hate your child, you're gonna spare the rod. You're not gonna whip them. But a man that love his children, a woman that love her children, will whoop that ass, right? Will hit him with that rod, man, on the side of his thighs, on the side of her thighs, man, to get her mind right, or get his mind right, right? So this is how it looks, right? When you want to be a, a good son, it's gonna look like things are never going right. It's gonna look like everything is not going to work for the greater good of the Most High God inside of these tribulations, man. In the book of, we just read it in Hebrews chapter 12 and verse number 10, it says it doesn't seem joyous, but grievous while you getting chastised. But at the end, right, it yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness, right, where they might be exercised thereby, right? At the end, we're gonna overcome because all of these assholes, right? When you whip your children while they're young, by the time they turn to a teenager, all you gotta do is tell them what to do, what not to do, and 9 times out of 10, they listen to you, right? So this is why the Lord beats us down early a lot, right? That's why we go through a lot young, so that way when we get older, we can be obedient easy, right? So let's get to the next precept, the book of Job, chapter 34. And we know what Job went through. And what we go through, what I've been through the last 4 months, bro, is nothing compared to what Job went through. Right. And I lost a son. I lost a son to sudden infant death syndrome at 5 months in 2016. Right. Almost 2017. March 23rd, 2016. 2 days before so called Christmas. Right. So I know a little bit of the pain of Job, but I don't know all the pain of Job. Right. So, but let's get something from out of Job. This is the book of Job, chapter 34 and verse number 31. And it reads, damn, 31 is hard too. So 31. Surely it is meet to be said unto God, I have borne chastisement. I will not offend anymore. It is good to tell God or tell people around or just express that you understand that the Lord has chastised you and you will not offend no more, right? This is the point of the chastisement of the Lord is for to get us to not offend anymore. And you guys always want to, include me, we always want to get the hell out of the pot when it's hot. Nah, but the best food comes from the crock pot, which is hot for a long period of time, man. Right? We still have a lot more to go through, man. I still have a lot more to go through, man, to be fully purged from all of my wickedness, man, all of my sins, man. Right? But Job said it perfectly, man. Watch this. I'm gonna read it again. It says, surely it is meet, surely it is good to be said unto God, I have borne chastisement. Hey, look, Lord, I've borne your chastisement, right? I keep it close to me. I'm always getting chastised, right? But watch this. It says, I will not offend anymore. You tell the Lord, man, I took my chastisement. I'm not going to offend anymore. I'm not going to have these thoughts anymore. I'm not going to smoke this weed no more. I'm not going to eat this bad food anymore. I'm not going to drink till I'm drunk anymore. I'm not going to black out drunk no more. I'm not going to lose everything again. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to stay focused on your word, right? This is how the chastisement of the Lord, right, uh, build you and heal you into the person that Yahweh needs you to be. Because all of us is here for His will and His purpose, not ours, right? That's why it says in Job, right, He sealeth up the instruction. Hold on, Job 30. Damn, that's a good precept, and I didn't even want that. But let's read this right quick. Job 30 and verse number 16. Now my soul is poured out upon me, right? Meaning the deepest parts of me, right? It's poured out upon me. the days of afflictions have taken hold upon me, right? And we have to take honor in the days of affliction, man. We still got to remember to say the water Yahweh, right? And all of these days that I went through, going through my go through, right? I never ceased to say the water Yahweh, man, right? For your grace and your mercy. You could have killed me a long time ago, right? But the water Yahweh for your grace and your mercy. If this all I got to deal with, then so shall it be. But Baba Kushar, lighten up some of these judgments, man, right? And he did. This time he just got my tool stolen, right? That's easily replaceable, man. You know. So, but that's a good one right there. But in the book of Job, I believe it might be 24, 23. It tells you that the Lord sealeth the man instructions, right? And that way he might draw a man away from his purpose. Right, hold on. I don't know how I'm missing it. It's all good. But y'all get the point. We all know that precept, right? So Job, right? Job said he understand that he's been chastised and he bore it, right? And he ain't gonna sin no more. He ain't gonna offend no more, right? And that's what we gotta say. That's what the chastisement of the Lord is for, right? It's to make us to not sin anymore, right? Or at least be more scared to sin, right? Nigga might still sin some more, but at least you're more scared to. You kind of like think about it a little bit stronger, a little longer, right? Back in the day, you'd be like, damn, now I'm working on Shabbat. Now it's like, hey, do I really, what I mean? I don't really need the money like that. I kind of need it, but I'm all right. Oh, shit, I'll just lose that 250. I'm cool, right? And that's why the Lord whip our tailbone, right? That's why He get us together with that hot rod, that rod of iron, right? This is the book of Second Corinthians, right? Chapter 12 and verse number 9, I believe I want to. Yeah, verse number 9. It says, He said unto me, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start at verse number 6. For though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool. For I will say the truth. But now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he see me to be, or that he heareth of me, and lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of revelation, there was given to me a thorn in the side. So the Paul is saying, I don't want to glory in the things that I know, the things I understand, how much I talk to Yahweh Shai, me being his right hand. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to tell y'all about all this stuff because I don't want y'all to think of me more higher than I ought to be thought about, right? And then he says what? He says, there was given me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. I constantly had to deal with some type of transgression, some type of sin that I did in the past, right? Or I keep doing currently, that this thing is to buffet me, to remind me that I ain't all that. I'm still dust and ashes. Because if it was up to me and my own device, this is what I'm seeing the Lord say. This is what Paul is saying. He see the Lord say, if I didn't give you something to deal with as a sin or a past sin, if I didn't give you something to deal with, you would have thought of yourself to be damn near God, huh? Right? Because how much I'm dealing with you, Paul, right? And why is this? Lest I should be exalted above measure, right? Above the balance. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice that it might be departed from me, right? So he talked to Yahweh Shai 3 times about this, like, look, take this away, right? But the Lord didn't listen. And he said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather glory in my infirmity, that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. Right, and we got to get to a point where we glory in these things, man. Right, you give up one bad habit, you give up one sin, and then now you got to conquer another one. But then after that, you conquer that one, and then you got to conquer another one, and then you got to conquer another one, and then you got to and then the grace is sufficient for you, man, because it's a gift for the Lord to give you the chance to constantly conquer these different bad habits, man. Right? It's a gift. It's the grace of the Lord that you're able to stop eating pork, wear fringes, put on a hair wrap, meat tree, wear a dress. Men not wear a dress, right? you know so this is a beautiful thing, man, and it comes through our infirmities, through our afflictions, are how we're able to get this gift of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which is keeping the commandments of the Lord easier. Right, it's a gift to easily keep the commandments of God, right, without effort. Right, like that one guy said, what he said, I do this with no effort. Right, that's love. That's a gift from God, man, to do this with no effort, to do these commandments with no effort. Right, but they got some things we deal with where it's going to take a little bit more effort. Right, verse 10. Therefore I take pleasure in my infirmities, in reproaches, right, in correction, right, in necessities, in persecution, meaning in the things that I lack, right? And in the persecution of the people that I used to persecute, right? And what else he said? In distress for Christ's sake, right? What is distress, man? You late on your rent, late on your bills, they cutting your hours, you're taking off for the Shabbat, your clothes got stolen, your car got broke into, got to do the window, this, that, the third. You got to take pleasure and honor in all these different infirmities, man. In correction, when the Lord judge you in another way, give you an ailment, disease, right? All these things, man, you got to take honor in that, man, right? Because at the end of the day, we know it's for our good and not for our bad, right? It says, in distresses for Christ's sake, for Mashiach's sake, for when I am weak, then I am strong, right? So when the Lord breaks me down, that's when I become strong, because it shows me my fortitude on serving the Most High God, right? Okay, you get fired from a job. First thing you do, you go out, you find another job. What you don't do though, right? As soon as you get hired at that job, you don't tell them I got to take off for the Sabbaths and the new moons every month, right? Every week I'll give you a paper that's gonna tell you what days I need off, right at the beginning of the week. I'll let you know the week before, whatever. However you do it, right? No, you just gonna do your 30-day probation period anyway, and break all the Sabbath, all the new moons for 90 to 30 days, right? No, man, right? No, you show your strength in this thing. Hey, look, I can't come in on this day. You know what I mean? Lord willing, y'all don't pray to the Lord for mercy, man. Lord willing, y'all fire me, but I can't do it. I can't come in, right? Or you call out sick, you got diarrhea, can't make it, however you got to do it, right? But get it done. I become a fool in glory, right? So you got to become a fool in glory, meaning you don't do it. You don't glory in nothing, right? You always give all honor and glory to the Most High God. Ye have compelled me, says, for you have compelled me to glory. I became a fool for glory. Hebrews and Hebrews, Pharisee and Pharisee, right? These things. For I ought to have been uh, commended of you. For in nothing I am behind the very chiefest apostle, though I be nothing, right? Because I get vexed, man. Paul get vexed. Everybody get vexed, right? He's behind the chiefest apostle. We behind the chiefest apostle, man. I seen works in the book of Acts that I ain't seen nobody do yet in this truth, right? Maybe IUIC, they doing a couple different things that I seen in the book of Acts that they on to something, right? Due to their financial gain, however they get it, right? They breaking the Shabbat for sure, right? And the new moon, right? But you know, they still doing mighty works like I seen in the book of Acts for sure, right? Going cross country, taking planes, taking if they had boats, they'll be taking boats. Mad respect for those brothers for that, right? I'm gonna get one more and I'm gonna close out. This is the book of Psalms, right? Because we want the Lord to judge us in His mercy, right? Not in His anger, right? So we're gonna get the book of Psalms, chapter 51, one of the best prayers that I ever heard before. We're gonna read from 1 to 3, 1 to 4. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 51, and verse number 1. Have mercy upon me, O Yahweh, according to thy loving kindness, according to the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgression. Wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity and cleanse me from my sins. Right? And when you pray this prayer, don't think that, okay, you thinking that David is just saying this and you just reciting it, and Lord willing, you could be as strong as David. Well, you're gonna have to go through more. You're gonna have to get judged more, right? Just like David, for you to be just like David and pray this prayer. When he said, "Wash me," right, and make me clean. When he says, "Blot out my transgressions," that comes with judgments, man. You have to get judged for your old transgressions to get out of that to make that thing clean. The Lord He gotta judge you. You can't just pray your way out of judgment. You can't just mercy, mercy me your way out of judgment. The Lord has to judge you, right? For you to be clean in those areas. Verse 2, wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity. And I mean judge me thoroughly, right? Because of my iniquity, but in your loving kindness, right? And cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sins is ever before me. I'm always pondering on them, so I don't do them no more. And because they vex the heck out of me, right? Verse 4, against thee only have I sinned and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, when you whoop my anus, right? When you put that belt right to my behind, that's how you speak. Be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest, right? So David asked the Lord to judge him early. So when it comes time for you to judge, for me to be judged by you, right? It could be a lighter judgment, right? But with that, I got to get into the next class. I want to say, call halal, abanaw Yahweh, by Shema Malak Yahweh Shai, and Kwam Yashal. Shalom.